I ran out of water. But I shouldn't be far. Where the hell am I, by the way? So you are thinking about starting your first solo hike, but still too afraid to start it, right? Then just stay with me. So today we will go through some basic knowledge to prepare you for your first solo hike. We will have 3 chapters: preparation, gear and safety. Let's start with the first one. First, do your research about the trail where you want to go to. It's also important to let someone reliable know where you are going. There should be at least one person who is reliable, a loved one or a friend or so on, who knows where you are if you start to go missing and someone has to search for you. And also don't let unknown people know that you are hiking alone, for example people on the internet, because there are some applications or services where you can live stream where you are going and people can follow you real time in GPS. And if you let unknown people know where you are going real time, solo, alone, then this can be dangerous for you. So I wouldn't recommend it. Now let's talk about gear. And before going to the fancy ones, let's start with the very basics, which is the most important of them all. Food. And water. You have to have enough food and enough water and some extra, and especially water in the summertime, like what we have currently, because if you don't have enough water, you will get into trouble really quickly. In the current level of conformism, people cannot even think about that they can handle multiple days without any food at all, but yes, that is possible, but it's not possible without water, especially in the summertime. So you have to be prepared with water. Yes, I know that your bag will be heavier because of it, but still this is the most basics of the preparation. You will need enough water for sure. Second, navigation. You have to make sure that on your phone you have downloaded some kind of map application which also includes hiking trails. Also make totally sure before you are going for hiking that your mobile phone is charged and it's ready to go. And as a backup, you should also have a power bank with you at all times, because if you are injured, you don't know that how much time you have to spend in the forest. And if you are lost or can't call for help because your mobile phone's battery is dead, then it won't help. So always carry a power bank with you. And optionally, if you are more budget free, you can carry some kind of GPS device with you. These little devices are very lightweight and small, and there are other advantages of them, not just the navigation, but if there is no cell phone signal, then you can push this SOS button to call for help. This can be really handy in situations when there is no cell phone signal. Next thing, fire kit. Now there are lots of people on internet who are talking about making fire in a very fancy way with a ferro rod and some fancy fire starters and everything, but there are some exceptions that no one talks about. Let's talk about those a little bit. Yes, I know that it is very fancy to light a fire with a ferro rod and everything, but in a real emergency you will never have time for this. So always carry a lighter with you in case it is more urgent to light the fire. And the other things no one talks about are the fire making restrictions, which has been made for a reason. While making a fire in a place like this would be pretty much easy, but if you look around, what do we have here? We have dried leaves, dry grass, and everything is dry. So it won't really help your survival if you burn down the whole forest around you. I'm not an expert in burning alive because I didn't try it yet, but it cannot be that good. So always be aware before starting a fire for emergency purposes. Now, depending on the weather, you can carry some additional clothing layers to prepare for any kind of weather, especially if you are in the mountains. I have also made a whole video about how to layer your clothes in rapidly changing weather. You can see the link of this video in the description below. It is also very much recommended to always carry some kind of rain protection with yourself. This kind of foldable rain jackets are very lightweight, and I never used to put them out from my bag because I would forget to put them in, so these are always with me. And it's also important to always test your gear, because I had some bad experience with some of the rain jackets I have used. Decathlon rain jacket, real life testing. This jacket is 2 years old and we are hiking in rain since 7 hours. Let's see. Not good, not terrible. I leave the conclusion to you. So I have changed that jacket to this other one. This here is the Marmot Precept jacket. Until now it has been performed really well. I had some adventures with it already and it performed really good. So I'm also planning to make a long-term review about this jacket, so subscribe if you want to see it later. And also ponchos are a really good alternative. I also have a review about the poncho, you can find it in the description below. But the point is that you always have to carry some kind of rain cover with you on your solo hikes and of course on all your hikes. Okay, next point, sun and bug protection. Now let's start with the first one, sun protection. It is really easy to do, you just have to use sunscreen and you can avoid sunburn. But still, I still can see lots of people with sunburn every time. So guys, if you want to have healthy skin, then just use sunburn, it's really easy and you can save a lot of trouble for yourself. But bug protection is also very important, because here in Europe the mosquitoes are just some annoying species, but there are also ticks which can carry some really dangerous diseases. For example, last year I got Lyme disease from ticks, so they can be really dangerous. But there are these simply bug repellents. This one is from Decathlon, but I guess that almost all of them is working good, or at least much better than nothing. So it's very much worth to use them in the summertime. They are pretty much cheap, lightweight, but it can save you a lot of trouble. And yes, I know that they are stinky, but it's worth it. I hope ticks will hate them as much as I do. Next thing, headlamp. It doesn't seem to be that important when you are going to a simple day hike, but if there is some trouble or emergency where you have to spend the night, or at least late in the evening you will still be in the forest, then this will be very useful, because you can't imagine how dark can be in the forest when the sky is also cloudy. So let me demonstrate it from one of my previous videos. Do you have any idea what time it is? It is subscriber clock, like minutes, and share seconds. So yes, headlamps can be really important. These are very lightweight, pretty much cheap, but always make sure that you have charged them before you are going for your hike. And do you know what kind of accidents can also happen while you are in the forest? The stinky ones. So you should also carry some toilet paper with you every time. It's lightweight, it's super cheap, but it can be useful. And it's optional, but it's very much recommended to use a digging tool for your stinky accidents. And one more bonus tip from me, it's also recommended on simple day hikes to carry a water filter with yourself. I wouldn't say that you should rely on this water filter and bring less water with yourself, because let's just look around here. But it still can be useful if you are totally run out of water accidentally, and if you find some water sources but you don't want to be sick, then of course it can be handy. And that's it about the gears. Let's go to the next chapter about safety. If we are talking about safety, the first few things that we have to mention is the first aid kit and also the emergency blanket. But especially the first aid kit, this is something that everyone needs. Especially if you have some medicine that you have to take regularly. And it doesn't really matter that which one you are buying. This one is from Decathlon, but actually it doesn't matter. What matters is that to customize it to your personal needs. I also have a separated video about how to handle basic emergencies during hiking. So if you are interested about the contents of this emergency kit, then you can see that video in the description below. And emergency blankets can also come in handy, especially if the weather is cold. And as you can see, they are pretty much light and small, so it's always recommended to carry one with yourself. The next important things about safety are knives. On simple day hikes, I used to carry 3 kind of knives with myself, so let's see them one by one. The first one is a Smith's Army knife. This can come in handy in several different situations. The next one is a simple cutting knife. It is very easy to cut food with it, so I pretty much like this one. And the last one is the protection kind. This is a Mora knife, which is a pretty much budget-friendly option. As you can see, it also handles a ferro rod here. It can be also useful. And this is a very simple but usable and strong knife. And it's also optional and depending on where you live, but you can also carry a bear spray. It can be useful not just against bear, but also stray dogs or any kind of aggressive animals. And also one more thing about safety, it's a little bit controversial, because I have heard people recommending it and not recommending it. I'm talking about listening to music and listening to podcasts while you are on your hiking trail, and some people do recommend it, because they say that when you are far away from people, then it's possible that it will be necessary for you to hear other people through these podcasts or music, and it is recommended for your mental health. But my opinion would be the opposite. I don't recommend it to anyone because several reasons, but the first one is the safety, because you won't hear your surroundings, you won't hear if there is some rocks falling or there is an animal getting closer to you. And also it can disconnect you from nature and from the forest, and this is the thing why you came here in the first place, isn't it? So my opinion is that I don't recommend it to anyone. I would rather suggest you to listen to the sounds of the forest, the birds, the wind, the leaves, the potential animals, anything that you can hear, and just enjoy your hike and leave your stress and your city life behind. That's it, guys. Now wait a second. By the way, I've been lost on my way back, so I had to walk back around 1 kilometer. That's how easily it can happen. And that's how easily you can find your way back if you are prepared. Have fun. That's it, guys. If you have found it useful, then hit that like button and subscribe. And definitely let the others know in the comments below that what other suggestions do you have for those who are starting their first solo hike today. And also don't forget to follow the deer. Thank you. Bye.